Today we're breaking down the Hotel Riu Caribe in Cancun. Everything from the rooms and the beach to dining, pricing, and whether it's actually worth booking. Stick with us to the end because we'll also tell you exactly who this resort is definitely not a good fit for and how to navigate the room categories to get the best overall value.
Welcome to Resortia. We are so glad you're joining us for this deep dive. And, if you find this breakdown helpful for planning your next trip, tapping that like and subscribe button is a fantastic way to support the channel. It really helps us keep these honest, detailed reviews coming your way.
Absolutely. So, diving right into the resort itself, we have to start with the location. The Riu Caribe sits right in the heart of Cancun's famous Zona Hotelera, which means you're completely surrounded by that iconic, vibrant turquoise Caribbean water.
Oh, totally. Geographically, you are right in the thick of the action. You have incredibly easy access to the main town, the prominent nightlife landmarks, and, well, all the major shopping districts.
Yeah, it's a very high-energy environment, right? And the resort's architecture really reflects that. It's this towering 9 or 10-story high-rise right on the coastline.
Right. And the physical footprint of that high-rise dictates almost everything about how you experience the outdoors here. Like, a lot of travelers arrive in Cancun expecting this endless, deeply wide stretch of powdery sand.
Which isn't always the case.
Exactly. The reality of this specific stretch of the hotel zone is that the beach is actually quite narrow. I mean, you have stunning, relatively calm water, which is a massive plus for swimming.
Oh, for sure.
But the actual real estate on the sand is pretty limited.
I noticed that immediately when looking at the property layout, because a narrow beach fundamentally changes the culture of a resort. If you can't just spread out infinitely along the coastline, guests are naturally going to migrate inward toward the pools.
Yeah, the pool deck just naturally becomes the primary social hub.
But it's a logistical catch with that.
There is, and it involves the orientation of the building itself. Because you have this 10-story structure positioned right on the beach, the physical height of the hotel casts a pretty significant shadow over the main pool area by mid to late afternoon.
Wow, so it literally blocks the sun.
Yeah, it's kind of a masterclass in how architecture influences guest behavior.
So, as a traveler, you really have to actively manage your daily schedule. Like, if you're a die-hard sunbather who wants to bake until sunset, you can't just casually stroll down at 2 in the afternoon.
No, absolutely not.
You need to claim a lounger closer to the water's edge early in the day, or, just shift your intense sunbathing to the morning. By the time that afternoon shadow hits, you have to pivot.
Which is precisely what the resort wants you to do.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they don't want a static crowd just lying around for 10 hours. They want energy. They want movement. When the sun dips behind the building, it's the perfect catalyst for guests to transition over to the Riu Fit program, which has these daily group fitness sessions, or to hit the tennis courts and beach volleyball.
Oh, I see. They are actively managing the flow of human traffic through environmental design. That's actually really smart.
It is. And the water sports play a huge role in that flow too. They offer complimentary non-motorized water sports. So you've got kayaking, bodyboarding, snorkeling gear, and taking catamarans out.
Yeah, but the feature that really caught my eye is the introductory scuba diving lesson they hold right in the resort pool. I mean, as someone who has debated trying scuba, doing it in the ocean for the first time is, well, it's incredibly intimidating.
Oh, totally. Putting it in a controlled pool environment removes that psychological barrier completely.
It really does. It's brilliant hospitality programming.
It is, because the perceived value to the guest is massive. Scuba diving feels like this premium, expensive activity but the actual cost to the resort to have an instructor run a basic orientation in a shallow pool is negligible.
Right, and it creates this memorable highlight for the guests while keeping them safely engaged on the property. It's like a cruise ship on land. But this all paints a picture of a place that is constantly buzzing with activity. And managing that level of energy across hundreds of guests sounds chaotic. I mean, if I'm traveling for a quiet getaway, I don't necessarily want a volleyball landing in my lap, or to be surrounded by screaming toddlers at the swim-up bar.
Well, the solution to that is aggressive, highly intentional zoning. The resort operates much like a meticulously planned micro-city.
Okay, unpack that a bit. What do you mean by micro-city?
So they don't just throw everyone into one central courtyard. They segment the population by age and desired energy level. For the kids, the Rio Land Kids Club is geographically contained and smartly divided into specific developmental brackets.
So they aren't all just lumped together.
Right. Ages 4 to 7 are in one group and 8 to 12 are in another.
Which is an absolute necessity. You simply cannot stimulate a 4-year-old and a 12-year-old with the exact same activity.
Exactly. So while the younger kids are focused on, like, face painting, the older kids are doing team sports. And while all of that is happening, the adults are funneling into their own exclusive sanctuaries.
Ah, so there's an escape.
Yes. The property features this beautiful infinity-style pool with a swim-up bar that is strictly restricted to adults, alongside a complimentary gym that's equipped with a steam bath. By creating these microenvironments, the resort successfully caters to completely opposing demographics at the exact same time.
So the parents get their luxury illusion and the kids get their playground, and the two rarely clash.
You got it.
Okay, well, having spent a full day navigating the sun schedules, trying out a catamaran, and, dodging the energetic crowd, you ultimately need a place to decompress. Let's talk about the rooms, because they have to act as a pressure valve.
They absolutely do.
And this property recently underwent a massive top-to-bottom interior renovation. They completely shifted the aesthetic to a very modern, Mykonos-inspired design.
The visual departure here is striking. Historically, resorts in this region leaned really heavily into dark woods, terracotta, and traditional, dense Mexican textiles.
Yeah, that classic Cancun resort look.
Right. But the Riu Caribe threw all of that out in favor of stark white marble floors, clean lines, bright blue bedding, and just this overwhelming sense of minimalism.
When I first saw that, I actually wondered why a Caribbean resort would mimic a Greek island. It felt a little out of place.
But if you think about it through the lens of a traveler who has just spent 8 hours sweating in the tropical humidity, it makes perfect sense.
Oh, that's true. Walking into a visually cool, bright white and blue space actually creates a psychological cooling effect. It just drops your heart rate.
It is a sensory reset. And the minimalism makes the rooms, which are already generously sized at roughly 32 to 35 square meters, for a standard double feel even more expansive. You aren't visually claustrophobic.
And for those willing to upgrade to the junior suites, you gain even more square footage. Some of the oceanfront options even feature private hot tubs directly on the balcony.
A balcony hot tub overlooking the Caribbean is a phenomenal touch.
It really is, but we have to talk about a signature hallmark of this brand, which is the in-room liquor dispenser. It is such a fascinating quirk. Alongside a fully stocked minibar, you have actual full-sized bottles of spirits mounted to the wall on tap.
It is the ultimate flex of the all-inclusive model.
Right.
And from a business perspective, it is a highly calculated move. The instinct is to assume that giving guests unlimited, unmonitored access to full bottles of liquor will cost the resort an absolute fortune.
Yeah, you'd think they'd lose money on that.
But in practice, it shifts the burden of service. If a guest wants a simple rum and coke while getting dressed for dinner, they pour it themselves. They aren't going down to the lobby bar, taking up a bartender's time and creating a queue.
Wow, so it lowers labor costs while making the guest feel like they're receiving this incredibly premium, abundant perk.
Exactly. It reinforces that feeling of absolute zero friction.
However, there is a specific room category that introduces a different kind of friction. The Riu party rooms.
Oh, yeah.
These are heavily promoted 18-plus only rooms that come with VIP nightclub entry and special accessory kits, and they literally overlook the dedicated party areas. So my immediate thought is, if I book a standard room for a quiet getaway, am I going to be subjected to the bass from a massive pool party vibrating through my walls at 2 in the morning?
It is the most common concern regarding mega resorts that try to be everything to everyone. But this circles back to the microcity zoning we discussed earlier, just applied vertically to the architecture.
How so?
The resort clusters, the Riu party rooms, and the adult-only swim-up rooms right around the high-decibel, high-energy courtyards.
Oh, so they used the physical layout of the hotel as an acoustic buffer.
Precisely.
Yeah.
The party demographic is concentrated where the nightlife happens. Meanwhile, the family-friendly 2-bedroom connecting suites are pushed to the extreme exterior wings of the building, furthest from the subwoofers.
That makes a lot of sense. They manage the acoustics through room assignments, ensuring that the energetic crowd stays entirely insulated from the guests seeking a restful night.
Exactly.
Well, let's shift gears to the dining experience. You've had your sensory reset in the Mykonos room, but a major make or break for any all-inclusive property is the food and beverage program. And the Riu Caribe leans very heavily into around-the-clock availability, notably with the 24-hour sports bar serving snacks and drinks.
A 24-hour venue is a logistical heavy lift for any hotel, but it is a critical safety net for an international resort. I mean, guests are arriving from different time zones, dealing with jet lag, or maybe returning late from excursions in the Riviera Maya.
Right, you never know when someone is going to need to eat.
Yeah, and having a reliable self-service food option at 3 in the morning eliminates the single fastest way to get a negative review. A hungry, frustrated guest who feels like they're being restricted by a clock.
It provides immense psychological comfort. Even if you never actually eat a sandwich at 4 a.m., just knowing you can makes the vacation feel infinitely more luxurious.
For sure, but obviously, the main culinary lifting happens across their primary dining landscape. The anchor is the main buffet, Albatross, also referred to as Coral. It's this massive space with live cooking stations and these huge glass walls directly facing the sea.
Those glass walls are crucial, right? Buffets can often feel chaotic, loud, and kind of cafeteria-like.
Oh, completely. By flooding the room with natural light and maintaining a constant visual connection to the ocean, it elevates the space. It totally mitigates that claustrophobic institutional feeling.
And the buffet handles the sheer volume of breakfast and lunch beautifully. But for dinner, the strategy shifts toward perceived value through specialty a la carte restaurants.
The variety here covers a lot of ground. You have Maria Margarita for traditional Mexican tacos and fajitas, Shangri-La for Asian wok dishes and sushi, and Culinarium, which is their attempt at gourmet, meticulously plated fusion cuisine.
But the venue that really stood out to me was Gaviotas, because during the day it operates as a casual, grab-and-go, poolside lunch spot, but at night it completely transforms into a dedicated steakhouse.
It is a phenomenal use of real estate. Rather than building a separate building that just sits empty for 12 hours a day, they flipped the venue's identity.
But with that flip comes a strict dress code. Men are required to wear long pants for dinner at Gaviotas. And my initial reaction as a traveler is resistance. I mean, I am on a tropical beach in Mexico. The absolute last thing I want to put on in high humidity is a pair of long trousers. It just feels contradictory to the whole effortless vacation promise.
I completely understand the frustration. But, if we analyze the psychology of hospitality, that dress code serves a very vital function.
Okay, I'm listening.
When you are on a beach vacation, it is remarkably easy for the days to just bleed into one another. You spend 12 hours in a swimsuit, covered in salt and sunscreen, moving from the pool to the buffet and back again. The experience can become pretty monotonous.
So enforcing a dress code forces a hard mental transition. By making you go back to your room, shower, and put on actual clothing, they are breaking up the day.
Yes, they are curating an evening atmosphere. It shifts the property from a daytime playground into a much more refined nighttime experience. The dinner suddenly feels like an event rather than just another caloric refueling stop.
That reframes it entirely. It's less about a stuffy rule and more about manufacturing a sense of occasion. That boundary between day and night actually makes the vacation feel longer, more structured, and ultimately more premium.
Exactly.
Now, all of these features, the constant food, the architectural zoning, the Mykonos redesign, how does this translate to the wallet? Let's get into the pricing and booking.
The economics of a mega resort like this rely heavily on dynamic pricing. If you look at the baseline promotional rates for a standard double room with a sea view during the off-season, you might see figures as low as, say, $145 to $169 a night.
Which, for unlimited food, alcohol, and activities, is an incredibly aggressive price.
It is designed to be a hook, but travelers really need to manage their expectations because that baseline rate is rarely what the average guest ends up paying.
Right, there are always variables.
Yeah. When you factor in the high season, overall occupancy algorithms, or the desire to upgrade to an adult-only swim-up room or a Riu party suite, the real-world average lands somewhere between $200 and $400 a night.
And during peak holiday months, it will easily push past that $400 mark.
Easily. This is exactly why utilizing a platform like Expedia is so critical for this type of trip. It acts as a neutral comparison tool that lets you see those live price fluctuations in real time.
Yeah, you can stack up a standard room against a junior suite, check the exact cancellation policies, and, see how much the rate spikes if you move your dates by just a few days.
And Expedia becomes particularly powerful when you look at the entire vacation ecosystem, because you aren't just booking a room. You need to secure flights from the United States, Canada, or Europe.
True.
You can bundle those flights directly with the room rate, which often unlocks package discounts that just aren't available if you book them separately.
It also solves one of the biggest friction points of traveling to Cancun, the airport transfer.
Oh, yes.
Arriving at the Cancun airport and trying to negotiate a taxi on the fly can be incredibly stressful. By booking your shuttle or private transfer in advance alongside your hotel and flights, you guarantee that seamless front-to-back experience.
Completely agree. So, bringing all of this together, what is our final verdict?
Well, the Hotel Riu Caribe operates on a very specific value proposition. Its biggest strength is its sheer variety and boundless energy.
Yeah, if you are an active traveler, a large group, or a family that thrives on constant entertainment, daily fitness programs, and having 24/7 access to food, this property delivers phenomenal return on your investment.
It really caters to the person who wants to be doing something at all times. But we have to be clear about the trade-offs. The beach is undeniably narrow. The building does cast a shadow over the pool in the afternoon.
Right, and if you are seeking absolute pin-drop tranquility or a deeply secluded romantic atmosphere where you never hear a bass drop or a pool game, this resort is going to feel pretty overwhelming.
It's also worth noting that while it is an all-inclusive, there are premium upsells. Services at the Renova Spa or motorized sports like jet skiing will incur extra fees. So if you despise reaching for your wallet once you arrive, you might prefer an ultra-luxury, holistic, all-inclusive.
Though you will definitely pay double the upfront nightly rate for that privilege.
For sure. Ultimately, analyzing the Riu Caribe reveals something fascinating about the future of travel. We are looking at the peak evolution of the all-inclusive concept.
It really is. It is no longer a one-size-fits-all model with a single buffet line.
No, it is a hyper-personalized ecosystem where a college student looking for a VIP party and a young family looking for face painting and calm waters can exist under the exact same roof, have entirely different vacations, and walk away feeling like the resort was built specifically for them. It begs the question, are we witnessing the end of the generic vacation?
That is a great question to leave you with, and that wraps up our breakdown for today. We would love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments if this micro-city style of resort appeals to you, or drop a suggestion for which property you want us to analyze next.
And if this deep dive helped clarify your travel plans, please take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to Resoria. It truly helps us out. Keep exploring, stay curious, and we will see you on the next journey.